Welcome to Sketch Club. Stay safe and sane at home again. I'm so glad you're here. I haven't had a rehearsal and I haven't got any notes to follow today. I'm just squeezing this in while someone takes my dogs out for me so that there's no barking interruptions. That's how I stay sane while I'm staying at home. So I'm really sorry I can't see you in person right now, but I'm very thankful for this technology that helps us to see each other via the screen. And please do communicate with me on email if you get the chance to watch this and take part, and if there's anything that stands out that you want to chat about, it would be lovely to hear from you. And if you're watching this, well done, you've taken the first step towards doing some sketching. I'm just going to have a little sip of tea because after all that is a huge part of what Sketch Club is all about. I hope you've got a drink with you. Let's get started. So today we're looking at sketching circles, globes, ellipses and cylinders, because if you look around the space that you're in right now, you'll see a lot of circular, globy, spherical things. Our houses are full of them, so there's no excuse not to start sketching one of them. So you will need today the following things. So you'll just need a pencil that's good and sharp, because I'm going to get a little bit technical today, so make sure your pencil is nice and sharp. I've got a HB and a 2B because I might move on to doing a bit of shading later, and the 2B is a softer pencil, which means I could get some darker tones. HB is a harder pencil, which means I won't get so much shading out of it, but it won't go smudgy when I'm trying to be technical. Pencil sharpener, in case you need to sharpen your pencils, sketchbook, and then I've got some coloured pencils today because of some things I'm going to demonstrate for you, and also because I've rediscovered this little lovely pack of coloured pencils and I'm quite enjoying the controllability of them. So that's what I'm going to use today to take my sketching a little bit further. But all you need is a pen or a pencil and a sharpener and a sketchbook. You will also need some things that are spherical, globy, as I like to call it, cylindrical and elliptical. So these are some things I quickly grabbed when the dogs went out and the house went quiet, and those are the things that I'm going to be using for my sketching today. You won't see me sketching with these particularly today because I'm not going to stick around for the sketching bit. I'm just going to talk to you about the techniques and then leave you to get on with sketching on your own. So let's do a circles warm-up. And for those of you that are younger, as in little ones watching, if you're still in that stage where you like to ask an adult to draw circles for you, then I'm going to stop you right there and I'm going to get you to draw your own circles from now on. So if you just do this little exercise for me, as long as you can do this, you can draw a circle. So get your pointy finger out. Can you see that all your joints let you move your body in circles? I could even move my arm in circles. So if I was to get you to make a fist and I was to strap a pencil to your fist, you could draw a circle. So you can draw circles. And the way to draw a circle is to let your wrist go all floppy and just to practice and practice and practice on the page. And you'll soon find that you're drawing perfect circles clockwise, anti-clockwise, and they'll be brilliant. So fill up a page of circles. It's going to go quiet for a minute because I haven't got any music this time, but I'll give you a moment to fill up a page of circles like this. How did you get on? Did you get some big circles and some little circles? Did you find yourself losing the page at certain points and ending up having to draw half circles? They're really fun because you tend to go a bit wonky, so that's another thing to try another time. So the next little warm-up we're going to do is ellipses, and these are when a circle has been effectively squashed. So I like to think of ellipses as like an elastic band, you know, when you just drop an elastic band on the floor, or a hairband, and it just goes into this not quite circular shape. So spend a minute drawing some ellipses like this. What did you find easier, circles or ellipses? I actually discovered when I did the ellipses that my hand wants to draw ellipses in one particular position. So if I started to think about the ellipses being at a different angle, my hand found that harder. So that's something I'm going to have to work on, because it's obviously, I'm used to drawing ellipses in one particular position, and I've got to start thinking about drawing ellipses in all sorts of different positions. Okay, next thing we're going to play around with is spheres. So these are globes, ball shapes, and we're going to play around with how to take something that's effectively two-dimensional and flat on our paper and make it look as if it's coming out of the page. And what I'm going to teach you is just the first step. You'll go on from there to explore shading to get your globe looking nice and globy. I'm just going to show you a little technical trick, and this does get technical. You need your sharp pencil for this one. Okay, I'll talk over the slides as we do. So you're going to need a circle. You can see that my circle's got lots of lines because it takes me a few goes to get the circle I want, and as long as I'm drawing lightly on the page, I can always rub out or shade over the lines that I don't want. That's something that my mum taught me when she taught me to draw very lightly, possibly because I'm quite heavy-handed, but there we go. So once you've got your circle, the next thing you're going to do very lightly, and I've done this in red crayon to show you, but you can do this just with your pencil very lightly, is to do a cross through the circle. Okay, as long as you've done it lightly, then it won't show up later because you won't need this later on. Okay, once you've got that cross, we're going to imagine that cross is like two cocktail sticks sticking through your orange. Okay, bear with me. Next slide. Can you see a dot? You can put a dot anywhere you want in your circle. It could be anywhere. It could be where the two cocktail sticks meet. It could be on the top of the circle, on one of the edges. It could be in any of those four sections, towards the middle or towards the edge. It's completely up to you, but just have a think about where you want to pop that dot. Now, this is where it gets a bit tricky, so listen really carefully, and you might want to watch this through and then pause it and then practice and then press play again. So what I want you to imagine now is you've got your circle, your orange if you like, and you've got your two cocktail sticks sticking through the orange. You're going to place an elastic band around your orange so that it goes around one cocktail stick and it hits the dot as it goes round. Okay, so this is your ellipse and you're drawing this now. And you're drawing the bit that you can't see as well as the bit that you can at the moment. And this is where your light touch comes in. I've done this in purple and I've done it quite heavy so that you can see. But if you do it very lightly, then you'll see the magic in a moment. Okay, and then you're going to do another elastic band. But can you see that this one goes around the other cocktail stick and it still hits that dot? Okay, so you've now got two ellipses on your circle, and you've created an illusion now of a foreground and a background. So you're basically playing tricks on people's eyes so that they now think that that's not a circle, it's a globe, a sphere. And I've gone over mine with a black pencil to really define the bit that you want the eye to go to. It looks a little bit like a tennis ball now, doesn't it? So that is how you turn a 2D circle into a 3D globe. Now you might want to pause this video here and just have a play around with those. And if you go around your house and find things that are kind of globy, you could have a play around with that idea. And here's some examples. So I used some balls that the dogs play with, and then finally ended up with this lovely lemon. And I sort of made my 2D circle more elliptical, like the lemon, and then created the 3D-ness, and then added on the little edges onto the lemon and a few dots for shading. So that is technical drawing. We don't often get into technical drawing in Sketch Club. We normally play around with warm-ups and then just get sketching, but I thought it might be interesting today. I hope you like it. So you can stop the video there and go play with circles and globes and spheres and enjoy that if you like, or you can come with me into the world of vanishing points. Now this is a learning curve, pardon the pun, for me, because I have been taught vanishing points years ago, and I just kind of, a bit like composition, just parked them because they weren't terribly interesting. But when I look at my sketches now, I can see I kind of need to go back and practice. So me being me, I'm never one to do things the easy way, and I decided to think about vanishing points when you're dealing with things that are cylindrical, spherical, circular and elliptical, because I was always taught vanishing points with hard edges. You draw buildings and lampposts disappearing off down the road. And bear with me if you're little and you're young and you haven't been taught vanishing points yet. I'm sort of talking to the adults who maybe have got some experience of what I'm talking about, but I'm going to take you through vanishing points with a 1 point perspective today. You can then build it up. You can Google 2 point perspective and 3 point perspective, because it gets really technical and quite enjoyable, I have to say. As an adult coming back to it, I quite like the technical side of this. We're just going to look at 1 point perspective today, and we're going to play around with our spheres and globes and cylinders and have a bit of a play. So this is what I ended up with when I started exploring vanishing points with cylindrical objects. So I had a glass, 2 glasses and a bottle, and I thought, right, if I lay the glasses down and the bottles down so that the bottom end of the cylinder is furthest away from me, and I play with perspective there, what does it look like? So that's what I'm about to go and explore once I've finished showing you the technical drawing of vanishing points. So you'll need a clean page in your sketchbook, and again I've done this line in red, but you just want to do a gentle light line with your pencil. So that's your horizon. So you draw your horizon. You can draw it wherever you like on the page. It could be in the middle, at the bottom, at the top. Okay. And then the next thing you need, you guessed it, is a dot on your horizon. And again, it could be left, right, central, wherever you want to place it. Place your dot on the horizon. That is your vanishing point, okay? And in the next slide, you'll see I've drawn some arrows. So every straight line you're going to draw today is going to head towards that dot. All right? So if I lie a glass down, or a bottle, or a tin can, I'm going to use a tin can, a can of sweet corn. If I lie it down and I have a look at it, it's got one circular face that's looking at me. It's got another circular face that I can't see. I can just see the top curve of it, and then it's got 2 straight lines for its sides. Okay, so I'm going to draw the back curve first because I want to get the right sort of size for that one. I'm going to draw that hitting the vanishing point. Now the lines that come out of that back curve need to follow those arrows. Can you see where I've drawn the quite straight ones closer together just to guide myself? And then of course my can isn't that small at the far end, so I've drawn slightly wider ones coming out, and then I've popped the circular or elliptical face on it. Okay, now that one's not quite right. I'm not completely happy with that one, so I'm going to go away and play a little bit more with that one to just play around with that ellipsis. I think that possibly needs to be more circular, but I'm going to have to play around and see what looks good. Okay, so if you're still with me after all of that technical stuff, well done. I hope you found some useful and inspiring ideas in there to get you sketching today. Whether you're watching this video in the morning on Sketch Club Day, or whether you're catching up at a later date, it's really good to have you here. I'm so pleased that you've made the time to do some sketching. You will feel the benefits of it, and you will hopefully walk away from your sketchbook later on feeling safe and sane. So I'm going to leave you now because I've got so much sketching to do. I really do need to practice these vanishing points, and I'm going to leave you with a picture of some cylindrical and circular and spherical objects that I'm going to play around with, and I'll post my pictures on Facebook and Instagram later. And if you'd like to do the same, that would be absolutely wonderful. It would be lovely to see them. I will email you again tomorrow with another sketchy idea from South Cornwall Sketch Clubs. Take care. Bye.